Tell me if this sounds familiar. You are making your way through a conversation in Portuguese and you know the exact word that you want to say, but you can't find it and then you just freeze. In today's video, I'm going to give you 4 strategies of how to deal with this instead of totally clamming up. If this sounds like something that you need to learn today, make sure you give the video a like and make sure that you are subscribed so that you get new tips and tutorials on how to improve your Portuguese every single week from me, Liz Sharma, a Portuguese teacher in Lisbon. So the first way is super easy. You are just going to ask how to say that word in Portuguese, whatever it is that you're thinking of, okay? So let's take an example. If I was talking and I want to say the word short-tempered in Portuguese, but I don't know what it is, I can turn it into a teaching moment or a learning moment and say, como se diz short-tempered em português? This way, whoever you are speaking with will actually teach you the word. So for example, they might say irritável. And now you know. But maybe the person you are speaking with doesn't actually speak great English, and so you need to go down the slightly more complicated route of explaining what it is that you want to say, but in Portuguese, all right? So for example, if I was looking for the same word, short-tempered, I could say como se descreve uma pessoa que fica com raiva muito rápido? That way the person will be able to help you find the word that you are looking for because you have just described it. By the way, if you're still not at a stage where you can form sentences like this, you need to check out my free 60-minute lesson for beginners. It's called Speak Portuguese Like a Pro and it is linked in the description to give you a quick start guide on everything you need to know to be able to start having your first conversations. So another technique that you can use, technique number 3, is to use the opposite word if you know it, okay? So often you don't know the word that you want to say, but you know the opposite of that word. So you can actually use this to describe what you are trying to say, okay? So let's stick with the same example. I'm looking for how to say the word short-tempered. So I might say, ele é o oposto de calmo. Como se diz? It can be really annoying if you know the opposite word, but it can actually really help you in this circumstance if you know how to say this phrase. He's the opposite of this. How do you say it? Ele é o oposto de... Finally, technique number 4, and my favourite that I use all the time. Don't be afraid to just take a wild guess, or maybe an educated guess as to what the word could be. So for example, if I knew that the word irritated was irritado, but I know that words that end in BLE in English, so for example, irritable, I know that they end in VEL in Portuguese. So I could take a good guess and assume that irritable is irritável. So I could just simply use that in the conversation, ele é muito irritável, and then ask the question, faz sentido? Essa palavra existe? I do this all the time, and actually if you speak a couple of languages like I do, maybe you already speak Spanish or you have knowledge of other Latin languages, you'd be surprised at how many times you can actually get close to the right word. So I recommend using this one. Nobody minds if you're wrong. They'll just correct you. I hope that helps to keep your conversation flowing even when you can't think of the right word to say. Let me know if you're going to be trying this out in the comments. I love to hear how you get on. I'll be back next week with more tips and tutorials for your European Portuguese, so don't forget to be subscribed so that you don't miss a thing. Até a próxima, pessoal. Beijinhos!